Rachit Jain, Akshay Saini. I hate both of them equally, I would say. I would say Ornob. Reason why I left Uber. God, so weird of me saying this. Coding karna hai to coding chalu kar lo. Oh, I see myself with a couple of kids and married. When a fresher comes up with a 3-page resume, we go like, oh wow, that's nice. Okay, fine. 𝗙𝗏𝗃 Mishra says, I admire you a lot. Please create videos on streaming application and 𝗙𝘂𝗘 stack. Yeah, this is a good idea. 𝗙𝗏𝗃, I think I'll get to that.
Guys, did you see that fan moment? If yes, that is the reason I am so excited for this video. And this video is 10K special with none other than Gaurav Sen. So he's someone whom I'm following since really long time, like 2016. I have admired him. I have learned so much from him, like programming and building large scale systems, different things, even professionalism. These kind of things I have learned from him. So that's why this video is damn exciting for me. Guys, I cannot hold my emotions because I'm a really big fan of him.
You can treat me like a Jabra fan of Gaurav Sen.
So this podcast is going to be really beneficial for you because he has talked about his entire journey. First, the major topic, major question everybody has, why Gaurav Sen left Uber and started his own company, and other good things like how a fresher should start his college life, what all things he or she needs to study, and what is the importance of system designing for freshers, for experienced people, how you should target companies, how you should grow in career, how you should grow in the IT industry, and best resume tips and best advices for those folks who are looking for the off-campus opportunities. So this podcast, I know, bit lengthy, but every single word, every single advice from Gaurav Sen is going to be worth watching. So make sure you watch this video till the end, and after that we have a very awesome rapid fire where I got to know about some personal things about Gaurav Sen. So don't miss to watch that as well. And trust me, he is super funny, super duper funny. Like I was really enjoying when I was having the session with him. So that's why it is going to be very awesome for you. And if somebody is new onto my channel, then please don't forget to hit the subscribe button, because in 2021 lots of things are going to come on my channel regarding data engineering and awesome interview experiences from super awesome companies. So without any further delay, let's quickly jump on to the podcast section. Welcome Gaurav, and thank you very much for coming. For me, it's like a dream come true kind of thing. Because I'm a really big fan of yours, like following you since very long time, and I've learned so much from you. So it was my dream, like when I will hit 10K subscribers, so you will be the one who will get first feature on my channel. So I think now, like, I'm speechless, to be very honest. So let's quickly start with the main question part. First, as usual, can you quickly introduce yourself and like आपका journey with the कैसा रहा IT industry में?
So thank you so much, 𝗙𝗏𝗃, and it's a privilege and an honor to be here. I have actually seen your LinkedIn posts for a long time, so that's a real thing, and I found them useful. Definitely, you think about what goes through people and what problems they face, and you try to, you do a great job actually at putting your points across in the best way. So awesome. The viewers, I am Gaurav Sen. I have a YouTube channel which talks about system design and algorithms. There's a lot of content around complex programming, which I was taking about a couple of years back, and now have switched to system design. So what happened is the channel is sort of going along with my career progression. I was initially focused on algorithms and complex programming. And then after a few years, I realized that most computer programmers in college, what happens with them is, just after college, what happens with them is they have a lot of intelligence, like algorithmic wise, but when it comes to building systems, they sometimes need some brush up on their basic concepts like operating systems, networks and stuff. So that's where the content went. And right now the channel is having around 3 lakh subscribers. I have also started my own company now, interviewready.io. It's a very interesting name for a company. But yeah, it talks about how do you prepare for software engineering interviews in about a month, I would say. A week to a month. That would be the timeline.
I'm really glad to hear. I am like अभी मैं एकदम blank हूँ कि ठीक है, Gaurav Sen is reading my post. So thanks for the compliment.
No, I think LinkedIn has a really smart algorithm. If the post is nice, if the post is useful, they do promote it as much as they can. And one of the things about me is that if I see a good post, then I scroll through it, I read it entirely, so they know that there's activity happening there. And of course, if you like and share that, that becomes like much better. So if you see a good post like Shashank's posts, do like and share them. It helps. Okay, it's free. It does take some effort, like you have to cognitively think of clicking the like and the share button, but it makes a big difference. So yeah, I think LinkedIn is a useful platform. YouTube is a useful platform, and it's great that creators like you out there who are doing this stuff.
Thank you so much, Gaurav. Means a lot to me. So the people have this question in their mind. So Nation wants to know, like, reason behind leaving Uber and starting your own company, interviewready.io. Nation wants to know.
The nation wants to know. Okay, that is good. So I would say, or no, the reason why I left Uber was the same reason actually why I left DirectEye, but I kind of was more convinced by leaving Uber. So after a few years of YouTubing, I realized that there's a lot of impact that is happening through the channel, and a lot of people are finding the content useful. Some people, it's surprising, like they come forward and they clearly tell you exactly what happened. So there are stories like, I prepared for a few months, I was looking for a lot of content, and your channel helped me out a lot. So looking at that, I thought, let's put this to the real test, that let money speak for it. What ended up happening is, this took a long time because it's not that easy to convince yourself firstly, then convince everyone around you that this is a great idea. So, but some key factors, if you're thinking about leaving your company, some factors that I find very useful. One is safety. If you have worked for a few years, you have experience, you have savings, so you end up with minimum risk, which is not a bad idea at all. Especially, if you're going for something that you're not very sure about. So that was there with me. Those were good points. B, did I validate the idea? Yes, I had a YouTube channel which was doing reasonably well, and I also had affiliates whose products were being sold. So they are good products, but the thing is, people are going through you and buying those products. So they have a trust factor with you. So that was the second thing. And the third thing is, I looked at what's going on right now, the market. You have a general sense of, is it a good idea, is it a bad idea this time? And it turns out that it was a reasonably good idea. Initially, people buy the product, then they take some time to, validate it, or results have to come through the product. So that took some time. That took the first 3 months, but then there's been a steady acceleration, I should say, of adopting interviewready.io. So things are going good, and I would suggest if you're creating content in this space, it's a great time, and it's fun.
Alright, so I guess now Nation has got their answer, that why Gaurav Sen left Uber and started his own platform, interviewready.io. So guys, if you haven't checked that out, link will be in the description. Definitely go and check that out. It will definitely going to help you to land in a good product based company, to be very honest. So
the nation will finally know.
Move on to the next question. That's for you, and that's basically from the fresher side, because we all have been through this. So as a student, as a fresher, what all challenges did you face in your college time and while entering in the IT industry as well? That's a very, very common question because we have been through this.
Yeah, so my challenges were not very large. I have heard a lot of people from the electronics background or from tier 3 colleges, so to speak, tier 3, who find it really difficult to break through in the IT sector or the tech sector. For me, at least during my time, computer programming was not as difficult as it is now. There's a lot of competition right now. So for me, it was more of a hobby. And I think most of the people in computer programming that time were hobbyists. They weren't really looking for jobs through CP, or at least the percentage of people looking for jobs through CP was really low. So I was doing computer programming. I was reasonably good at it. I don't know if I can still get the same ranks as I did that time, because like I said, competition is so tough right now, and I've lost track also to some extent. But yeah, that helped me a lot. It helped me clear the top placement in my college, which was Morgan Stanley at the time. So once that happened, it's a big boost. You feel like you can crack anything. Like there's no upper ceiling that is clearly defined, at least if you get the top placement. I personally feel like that makes a big difference. The teachers also look at you in a different way. Oh, he's the hot shot over here. Once that happened, yeah, I got a call from 𝗙𝗏𝗘 in a few months after Morgan Stanley, and that was a tough interview. Those were some serious technical questions. The first time I actually realized that I have a serious lack in terms of operating systems and networks. So even after I joined 𝗙𝗏𝗘, right, after I was selected, a lot of people used to talk internally about ये web RTC use कर लेते हैं, या we can end up using how many threads do we need to run this program. So, and I had no idea what's going on. I have learned these things as a computer science student. I mean, I've heard of these things, but I didn't know what exactly they mean. So when they say web RTC, they basically mean there's some UDP protocol underlying it, right? If you have your basics clear, this would have helped so much. HTTP, TCP. So, but I didn't have my basics very clear, and that's why it took me a long time to understand this stuff. And then I saw new computer programmers coming in, people being selected for their algorithmic skills, and they were going through the same process, the same struggle. They could do heavy light decomposition problems quite easily, but when it came to designing systems, it took them time. They're smart people, they understand fast, but it took them time. So I saw that there's a big gap here as to what the industry wants, what the industry tests, and what the college provides. So initially, I started mentoring all the students in my, who were junior to me. Like, not students, they're working professionals, but yeah, I was mentoring them, and interns also. So it was a good experience as to what they know and what's the gap here. Then I started posting on YouTube, and then before starting Interview Ready, I had to do some extra, understanding of what's going on. So I know what happens in 𝗙𝗏𝗘 and Uber to some extent. So I have a general idea of, okay, engineers think this way, and then through YouTube also it helped. But then I started asking my friends in various companies, like, what exactly goes on? How do you guys onboard people? And I got a general understanding of what is the requirement. So long answer, really long answer, but I think if you're looking to get into the tech industry, it would be helpful to read about algorithms and also about the CS fundamentals that is taught in college.
People are facing the challenges like when they start like their college life, or when they start with at least this programming world, competitive programming world. So I want to know it from you, because you have a good amount of experience and you have mentored n number of people. So what kind of mistakes usually they are making in order to understand programming, competitive programming and project development? Because they are really confused about it. Like first year, second year, third year, fourth year तक करना क्या है? क्या CP ही मुझे एक अच्छी जॉब दिला देगी, CP से ही सब कुछ हो जाएगा, या कितना प्रोजेक्ट डेवलपमेंट में देना? Like their mind is completely blank कि कितना परसेंटेज कहाँ डिवाइड करना है.
बिल्कुल, और ये क्वेश्चन बहुत हार्ड है. आंसर कभी कभी अनफॉर्चुनेटली हम लोग शायद इरिटेट होकर बहुत ही जेनरिकली दे देते हैं कि कोडिंग करना है तो कोडिंग चालू कर लो. यार वो तो वैसे है कि रॉकेट साइंस कैसे सीखो, रॉकेट साइंस चालू कर दो. इट इज नॉट वेरी हेल्पफुल. सो आई ट्राई टू break it down a little bit. First thing that people think about if you're in college is, what programming language should I choose? Okay, and it's easy to say nothing matters, but I would suggest you either pick up Java or you pick up Python. The reason why would you pick up Java? Well, it's an object-oriented programming language, which later on you realize has its own paradigms and is useful to know about. So, and also the other one, Python, is easy to start off with. It also has its own paradigms. But because it's easy to start off with, maybe you don't need to get into the technical jargon or the life becomes hard when a language that you're learning is hard. So like your mother tongue, it's easy to speak. You have a thought and you can bring it into expression immediately. वो चीज अगर कोई complicated programming language दे दे तो यार मतलब घूम के जाना पड़ता है. So I would not suggest that. I would suggest start with Python or with Java because it's so popular. So you'll have helpful resources all the time. C++ is also perfectly fine, but pick one and then focus on it. Don't focus on learning even 2 programming languages at the same time at the start, okay? And don't get bogged down by people coming over and telling you that you should do JavaScript because that's the big thing over here. If you're started with something, just go on with it. It's fine. It's not really, it's not going to hurt you long term. Okay, that's the first thing. when it comes to computer programming, a lot of people don't know why are we doing it or how does it help. So I'll tell you the end result so that you are kind of motivated. The end result is you get good at algorithms, which helps you in all fields, okay, in computer science. Because algorithms, like they say, algorithms is basically you being able to solve a problem. And networks, for example, in computers helps you everywhere. There are some core subjects, absolutely core. There is no way you can get around this and say I'm still an engineer. Okay, people don't feel like paying you when you're not a professional. And an engineer is a professional who gets things done, is not a researcher. Okay, so if you don't know about, here are the core subjects: operating systems, databases, networks, one programming language so that you can actually express all these things into code, and algorithms. So if you know these, then you're pretty much sorted. अभी कोई आके आपको बोल सकता है machine learning के बारे में क्या हुआ, or what about mobile computing. So those are also important, but they are not as core as these things. These things will be there everywhere. Any computer system, you pick it up, it has this in some way or the other. It's like a mechanical engineer in 1970s who has to be there in every company. It's like a computer engineer nowadays. It has to be there in every company. Just like that, these things are always there. Okay, so if you know about these, then great. अभी आप इसके बारे में पढ़ोगे कैसे? एक कॉलेज लेक्चर्स में फोकस करो. That's a useful thing. फ्री में मिल रहा है आफ्टर ऑल. आपने सॉरी फीस तो भर दिया है, तो you can use that. The other thing is there are YouTube lectures by MIT, by Harvard. You can read them over there. When it comes to computer programming, it helps you in algorithms. That is one core subject. And unfortunately, the current scenario is such that there are so many people who apply for a particular job that you need an objective yes or no. Okay, and they can continuously come up with different questions on operating systems, networks, all the core subjects that I talked about, but they're difficult. It's not easy to come up with a database question which is relevant and still new. Okay, so instead what they do is they take a new algorithm and they ask you to solve it. And if you're not able to solve it, they say that, okay, this person is not able to solve these problems. Okay, reject it. Unfortunately, or I mean, if you're able to solve this problem, then select it. That's the positive way of thinking of things. And how much time do you focus? So on projects, I'd say once you're in third year, ideally you should be doing as many projects as you can. Okay, that helps because you are showing your practical ability to solve problems. In first and second year, you can focus on algorithms, which is computer programming. That will help you build your base of algorithms and also sort of prep you for interviews automatically. So you're not scared before fourth year when the companies are here that, oh my God, I need to get back to my basics. That's a task which nobody enjoys. That time you want to be building things and, getting internships and stuff. So go for computer programming first and second year. Go for projects in third and fourth year. And you don't need to stop computer programming, or you don't need to stay away from projects in first or second year. But yeah, focus more on these subjects depending on your year.
Yeah. All right. So, okay, next thing, again, the question is going to about your forte, means system designing. So I want to ask, why should someone care about system designing? What sort of importance it has in someone's, or you can say in CS, computer science engineer's life? Why somebody should care about it? Like if I'm good with programming, I'm good with core fundamentals, I'm good to go with the good product-based companies, interviews and all. Then why should I care about it?
Absolutely. I completely agree with you. And that sentiment was there for a while. But then what happened is people, once you start working, there's two reasons why system design is really important. Number one is because it helps you understand the internals of the system that you are working with. Like I said, when someone came to me and said WebRTC use karte hain, or let's use WebRTC instead of HTTP, I did not know the basics of what protocol is it running on. So when you design a large-scale system, you start getting accustomed with technologies and design patterns and processes instead of algorithms. Okay, how do you solve this problem becomes not just about input output, it becomes engineering problems. Okay, that is problem number one. So it helps you interact with your team like an engineer. It helps you understand problems like an engineer, and you will be able to think of systems in an abstract way instead of mathematically, that this is the input, and then I have to do this, and then I have to sort the numbers and then do an output. You can think about abstract problems. If I take an example, then the human body is a complicated system. The heart, the kidney, the arteries, all of these things are parts of the body which can have specialized people also on it. But a doctor has a good understanding of how these systems interact with each other. And they can think about the heart as an abstract thing, not as left ventricle, right ventricle, and then, where's the blood pumping, what is the pressure force. You don't need to think about it always like that. You just need to abstract it out. That is one useful thing. And the second thing is that it actually is something used at work a lot more than algorithms. Okay, you will start getting into system design very quickly once you're at your job. So my personal experience was that maybe in a couple of months, we started getting assignments which were like small parts of system design. Like you have a big system, can you change this component? And you can't just think about the test cases and the coding here. You have to first go and interact with the other team which is nearby and ask them that, is there any problem if I break this thing? And what is the problem? Can you please tell me? And stuff like that, So when looking at the diagram, you kind of understand that, okay, this is something that I need to do, something I need to be careful about. And so number one is basically the two reasons. Number one is because you understand the systems better. And the number two thing is that it is extremely important at work. So that is why you can care about system design. If you're in college, at the moment, you have so many things to learn that I can completely understand. If you're not interested in system design, no problem. Your fundamentals in OS databases will take you through. You're perfectly fine. If you're working, I'd strongly advise you to invest some time designing systems, because it does help you get better as an engineer.
इस क्वेश्चन से मेरे को इतना ज्यादा पूछ चुके हैं ये क्वेश्चन एटलीस्ट फ्रेशर, क्योंकि अगेन वो कंफ्यूज है. सो उनका जो अगला क्वेश्चन है दैट इज कि sir, do we need to study like system designing as well, because we are fresher and preparing for on off campus placements and we are good with DSA core subjects etc. So still companies will ask system design question in the interviews from freshers. Do they expect a fresher to be good with system designing? Because sometimes they said, sir, this company asked this question with my friend who is like 0 years experience, 1 year experience. Still they asked it. So should I prepare it or shouldn't?
Okay, that's a good question. I think you can prepare at least the easy things, the fundamentals. Like I said, if you're a fresher, as long as you have done a few projects, you have some practical experience, so that helps. If you have done an internship, you're good. If you have done a few projects which are, mentored by teachers and stuff, you should be fine. And for freshers, we give a lot of, we understand it's okay. You had 10 things to do. Maybe you're from an electronics background, that is a separate thing. But maybe you were interested in machine learning, for example, and now you're applying for a backend engineer job. So, and you're very flexible, right? That's a great thing. You have high learnability. Maybe you're really good at what you did. So we understand, but there will be some basic system design questions asked you. For example, design a lift system, or design a calculator or something. If you're able to tell what are the interactions of this system, you're good. If you have worked on a project, right, you will be able to. So as a fresher, you don't need very complex understanding of how these systems work. There are free resources out there, right? Like my channel has a playlist. There's 𝗙𝗪𝗏 if you're interested in a little more intense system design. And there's many other YouTube channels also which talk about system design. You can go ahead. Once you're at the job though, I'd strongly suggest, like I said, you have some experience. Now you should invest, because very quickly the focus changes. SD2 interviews have tough system design questions. Like there's high level design questions, and SD3 onwards, of course, it becomes everything combined. Low level design, high level design, everything is asked, because they are more concerned as to what you can do instead of what you can do 5 years from now. Tell me where you see yourself 5 years from now. I see myself with a couple of kids and married. Yeah, that's not a very helpful answer, is it? So you'll end up with, like, you have a team with you, you have people who are looking up to you. How do you help them all go ahead? You need to be able to describe systems. So, and of course, you also need to be able to code well and stuff like that. Yeah.
ओके सो आई गेस फाइनली अब तो फ्रेशर्स का डाउट ये भी क्लियर हो गया होगा कि भाई कितनी लिमिटेशन तक तुम लोगों को सिस्टम डिजाइनिंग पढ़नी है. सो अब इसके बाद कंफ्यूज मत होना, क्योंकि सिस्टम डिजाइन किंग ने खुद से बोल दिया कि तुम्हें कितनी सिस्टम डिजाइनिंग पढ़नी है. सो इसके बाद कंफ्यूजन का कोई स्कोप नहीं है. और okay, so I have like last two questions for you, and after that I have a special thing, a quick rapid fire for you.
Sure.
Like couple of questions, one word answer. So we will do it after those two questions.
Okay.
Based on your experience, like must to follow things while creating a good and impactful resume.
Okay. A good and impactful resume. First two things. First one, most importantly, make it as relevant as possible. If you have done great things in my personal example is I had a pretty decent chess record in college, and I had all these achievements of chess yahan pe, national level here, doesn't matter that much. You're going to be paid for your engineering skills, so put all of your engineering achievements on top. Even if you don't have many, put them on top, because that is the reason why they'll hire you. Otherwise, they'll ask you a few questions on chess because they know that you're passionate, but the time is wasted. They're probably going to not end up selecting you, right? That's number one. Keep things relevant. I got this rank in this contest specifically. Helps. Number two is concise. So it's very difficult to read through paras. Okay, if you're writing a paragraph, don't. It has to be a single point, 2 sentences at most. If you see that there's an entire paragraph you need for a project, break it into 3 or 4 points and make it as readable as possible. At the end of the day, the person who's going to be going through your resume is going to be a human being. Even if you have resume parsers, at the end of the day, the person who's going to be going through it is going to be seeing the important achievements. So if you can highlight some things, make them bold, or any way in which you can stand out and make things more clear, helps. 2-page resume, I'm not a big fan, but it is forgivable. Anything more than that is just not forgivable. I think a single page is more than enough. Even the people who apply after 10 years give a single page resume. So those guys, by the way, have gone through a lot in their lives when it comes to technical. And when a fresher comes up with a 3-page resume, we go like, oh wow, that's nice. Just control and write just 1 page.
Okay, so like now you guys can understand the importance of like good and having impactful resume. So best tips have been shared by a best person, so you can follow that to create a good and impactful resume. Let's move on to the last question of this questionnaire. So Gaurav, from your side, like best advices to those people who are hunting for off-campus opportunities and getting less opportunities.
Okay, yeah, amongst all the questions, I think this is the hardest, because I had an experience where I met this guy at a mall, right? And I was standing in a line to get something. He came over and I realized when I was talking to this person that he's really smart. So he recognized me through my videos and said that I've seen algorithms, videos on algorithms. I have seen system design. I've gone through various sources, and I could tell that this guy is good. His communication skills are definitely good. So what surprised me is that he said that he's doing, he's sending his resumes to recruiters. He's sending his resumes to people in the companies he wants to work for. And he's just not getting responses. And I had no answer to that. Like, what possibly can you do apart from trying your level best? But the flip side to that is, if he's not doing that, then there's absolutely no chance. There's nothing to feel bad about. There's no chance that he'll get what he wants. So if you're not getting selected, it is unfortunate, but this is the best way that we know right now. If you have, the best way, to maximize your chances would be find out anybody that you know in those companies. If you can get a person who it helps. Seems like nepotism, but it kind of helps. The second thing is, if you don't know anybody in that company, go to recruiters. And to me personally, I don't find contests very practical. I don't find going to hackathons and these things very practical. If you can get good ranks in those, they do help. But somebody telling me after 4 years of working in the industry that comparative programming चालू कर दो, उसमें rank आ जाएगा तो Google तुम्हें ले लेगा. No, that's not very relevant to me as a software engineer, because I'm not going to be able to read up so much on comparative programming and do well and still have my job. I'm probably going to get fired. What you're doing is right. Keep trying, keep applying. You're going to get there. There's always a shortage of good engineers. It'll just take time for your resume to surface in one of these waves, and you'll be caught,
All right, so I guess now after listening this talk, somehow they can feel motivated कि हाँ मतलब ठीक है, give up नहीं करना है. Obviously there will be challenges for you, opportunities sometimes होता है, बहुत सारे rejections भी मिलेंगे.
That is my personal experience. There is a really smart secret way, but I have not been able to think about this. And I have been thinking about this for a while now. Like how do you do this? I had an interview with another guy, Priyank, who went to Google. But yeah, at the end of it, it's more about you persevering, and in the end, it ends up happening.
Alright, so now the interesting phase of this complete interaction, the rapid fire, जो कि हमने अभी कुछ ही like you can say just start करा है अपने नए वीडियोस में. So Gaurav, for that, like I have couple 7, 8, 9 questions, but they are very short and crisp. You just need to give one answer for that, and probably you can explain it one line as well, that why this, right? So sometimes it would be tough for you at least to decide the things. So let's start with the rapid fire. Okay, so first question for you, Gaurav. First company you wanted to work with, honest answer.
Morgan Stanley. The reason for that was because I saw on the placement board of college all the companies, and the highest paying package was Morgan Stanley. So I was like, wow, this is a big deal. And for many years in our college, nobody had gotten the placement. 1 year before me, one guy got the placement. But when I saw it, I think I saw it in first year, I was like, wow, that's a big placement. And my brother was in IIT. He was talking about the average placement in IIT, and this was way above that package. So I was like, wow, that would be interesting. I didn't think about Google. That's weird. There were people who thought about NVIDIA, but I don't know. Like I had nothing in my mind except money.
Okay, so in total, पैसे का चक्कर सीधी सी बात है.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
Okay, so next question for you, Gaurav. Your one strongest weakness.
My strongest weakness would be that I care a lot about quality. And I'm not saying this as a bullshit HR question, I genuinely mean my content on YouTube has dried up pretty much because I am so obsessed with quality now. I want it to be as easily consumable as possible, the content I push out there, like high comprehension, short, concise videos, awesome explanation. These are all positives. What is the negative? It takes me 3 months to come up with a start to finish video. So what the hell is going on here? So there has to be some sort of balance. Definitely it is a strength also, but I have to shore up my weakness of pushing out more content, right? The quantity is also very important along with quality. Otherwise, if you come up with a video every 1 year, okay, yes, it was really nice, but where's the rest? And you're just taking so much time, So I talk to myself this way, like I go like, what the hell is this? This video could have been done so much better. And that's my natural reaction. When I see my old videos, I go like, no, you should have done this better. But yeah, I have to also be happy that, hey, this video is out there and it's been viewed by people. So it's probably helped them. So that's good. That's good.
All right, so let's move on to the next question. You love trekking, so recommend 2 awesome places which you want others to explore for sure.
God, so weird of me saying this, but Kedarkantha was my favorite trek, and now it's turned into a picnic spot. Everyone is in Kedarkantha. I'd say if you go to the Himalayas, do check out Chadar. I really like the place. Be careful who you're going with. My experience with Trek the Himalayas was absolutely horrible, disastrous. Okay, like this is not organizing. But the place is beautiful. It's a frozen river, and this is what I told my friends. I am in an alien world right now. There's a frozen river, and everything is shiny and it's beautiful. So I definitely recommend Chadar as a place. That's number one. Number two would be the jungles in Chhattisgarh. They are really strangely cozy. You feel nice. The grass is soft and everything like that. And they keep telling that, hey, there's some dangerous animals here, but I actually liked it.
So next question. One thing which you hate doing.
Answering support emails. Yeah.
And I think
it's universal. I agree, and I should do it because I am now, the owner. Either I outsource it or I do it myself. But oh God, I'm thinking about how do I get this taken care of by somebody else. But then I feel like, hey, that won't be Gaurav who's replying, is it? That's a dumb way to think about things. You have to focus on things that you're good at.
next question. Like, are you party person or silent killer?
So yeah, as a young guy, which is even now, by the way, yeah, partying is something I like to do. But after 4 years, I cut down on the drinking. I really cut down on the partying. This is a few years back when I just decided I'm going to stop. So I've stopped partying, which is a huge time saver. You don't need to listen to conversations which you don't want to. You don't need to drink, means you don't need to, your workouts are so much better. Everything falls in place. But I guess as a young college grad with money for the first time and so much independence, it's something that you end up doing. But yeah.
So next question. One celebrity who would you like to meet?
Jordan Peterson, and Elon Musk is also a close second in that. Yeah.
Okay, nice choices. So if I give you two options, and then who would you pick up? 𝗙𝗏𝗏 Jain, 𝗙𝘂𝗍 Saini, and why?
Okay. 𝗙𝗏𝗏 Jain, 𝗙𝘂𝗍 Saini. I hate both of them equally, I would say.
नहीं यहाँ पे डिप्लोमेटिक होना है. One, that means one. And I'm pretty, मैं ये क्लिप अलग से पोस्ट करने वाला हूँ इंस्टाग्राम पे 𝗙𝗏𝗏 साइनी और 𝗙𝗏𝗏 जैन को टैग करके.
No, I'm telling you, Rachit, I hate you and I hate Akshay. I hate you too. No, but if I'm honest with you guys, I think Rachit is somebody who's been a friend for a longer time. Both are very nice people. I have spoken to them personally and I kind of know them personally. So yeah, really nice guys. Rachit is younger, I think. But yeah, so if I have to choose one guy, yeah, okay, like Rachit. But Saini is also so nice. So in office, we all used to call him Saini. No, I don't think anyone would call him Akshay. But a smart guy, really smart guy, like extremely. So there was an intern who came. The advice he was giving him, Saini, was the best advice I've ever heard. Like I was listening quietly and I was taking that advice and I was like, ha, sahi bol raha, because because I was taking it, I was internalizing it. So he's very wise, Akshay. And Rachit, on the other hand, is one of the people who, once you meet, right, their IQ is higher than yours. For me, at least personally. So my brother and these guys, it's not necessarily fun to be around them because they are smarter, literally smarter. So you give them a problem, they'll solve it, and you lose. And I'm a computer guy, so I was like, no. But he's extremely smart, and I do know him personally. He's a nice guy. Both people are nice, but I'll go for Rachit. Yeah, I hate you less, so Rachit. That's reality.
Okay, I'm probably going to tag both of them and 𝗙𝗏𝗏 Saini. जब सुनेंगे ना ये तो definitely he's going to ping you. भाई गौरव क्यों? Cool. So alright guys, so that was all about the fun interaction with Gaurav Sen, and for me it's like a dream come true again. And thank you so much Gaurav to join me and share your valuable advices with the freshers and the audience. So people love to watch you, like you are the man who do not need any kind of introduction. So I'm pretty sure they are definitely going to jump on this video and will watch all the advices shared by you.
Thank you so much.
For me again, thank you very much and making my 10K special very, very special.
Congratulations. And guys who are watching this, be sure to like, share, and subscribe 𝗙𝗪𝗏𝑥's videos. They are excellent. And what you need to do is just like, share, and subscribe, and YouTube will do the rest for you.
Yep. Thank you so much, Gaurav. Alright guys, so that was all about the 10K special video with Gaurav Sen. I hope you guys would have enjoyed this entire session, rapid fire, and some amazing questions and all the advices, all the relevant information Gaurav Sen has shared with us. I hope you would have liked it. If yes, then do not forget to click that thumbs up, hit the subscribe button, notification icon, and I'll see you guys next weekend with another amazing video. So till then, just stay safe, stay home, take care of yourself and your family too. Bye bye.